What do you think went through Mark Cuban's mind when he sold the Mavericks? Man, I don't want to be the one to trade Luka. Can't be me. I don't want to be responsible for that. Nah, that wasn't in his mind. How about this? I got a chance to get a huge price from Miriam Adelson. Well, people may think it's her son-in-law, Patrick Dumont, but it's not. It's Miriam Adelson. I may get a good price, and this would be really good. I can't own the team forever. I got to do estate planning. How about if I sell right now? But I am going to maintain control. I'm going to go full Wick Rousebeck. Oh, no, that didn't happen. I'm going to go full Mark Cuban. I'm going to sell the team, cash out, keep 27% of the team, and keep running the team. And I said, hold on, that's not going to work. Everyone said, of course it's going to work. That's the deal. Samson, you're totally wrong. Then Luka gets traded, and the next thing we hear is Mark Cuban saying, I had nothing to do with that. Well, I thought you were in control. Oh, no, in control. I got nothing. I got no seat at the table. Zero. Interesting. Well, Mark Cuban is not happy. He is one bitter man. He's rich. I don't mean Bitterman, the chauffeur from Arthur. I mean a bitter man, not a serious man, a bitter one. How does a bitter former owner manifest itself? What do they do? What would you think they do? They want to stay in the spotlight, baby. They want to keep getting talked about. They don't want to disappear into the night, become forgotten, become ordinary, become unimportant, have no one take their calls. So what do? You keep talking about stuff so incorrectly and making stuff up that people inside the industry are like, what's going on with this dude? Mark Cuban went on a podcast, and this is according to Mike Curtis of the Dallas Morning News. He went on the DLLS Mavs podcast, and Cuban started discussing not only selling the stake in the team to Patrick Dumont and Miriam Adelson, but he said something even more interesting. He said that he was pushed out by the NBA and that he had a key position that he was going to have in the organization going forward, and the NBA said no. According to Cuban, the NBA stepped in. There was a clause in his contract when he sold the team that would give him the right to be in every meeting, every trade discussion, everything. And the NBA removed the provision. Horse hockey. I happen to know that the NBA is not in the business of removing provisions that call for a limited partner to have consultation rights, for a limited partner to have the ability to be in the room where it happens. The NBA is interested in who the governor is, who the alternate governor is. That's another word for who's the control person, who's responsible. And you have to own more than 15% of the team. Mark Cuban has 27. I guess he could be the governor. Except Miriam Adelson and Patrick Dumont said, no, you're not the governor anymore. Patrick's going to be the governor. You don't own the team anymore. And when it's convenient for Mark and he gets to say, I wouldn't have traded Luka, that's one thing. When it's not convenient for Mark and he has to say, man, the NBA, they screwed me. I had a high position, ready to be consulted, ready to run basketball operations until the NBA said no. I've been involved in so many transactions. Do you know how many transactions that the league gets involved in who the GM is going to be? None. Do you know how many transactions where the league gets involved in a provision that calls for limited partner rights and a right of being inside a meeting and being a part of trade discussions? Wait for it, none. But Mark Cuban is adamant. Mark Cuban's reality, ego-fueled and now totally irrelevant, disappearing, no one cares anymore. But Mark Cuban wants you to believe that he got screwed by the man. That's funny when the man says he got screwed by the man. That's a man in the man. But it's just not the case. Mark Cuban offered. This is really so special. It makes me smile. There's a sports writer named Mark Stein who said, hey, Mark, the NBA is disputing the claim that they were the ones who wanted a provision taken out of the contract. And Mark Cuban responded by saying, I'll show Mark Stein proof. Cuban said, who the hell do you think took it out? I mean, I've got the letter from my lawyer saying the NBA made us remove it. Really? Do you have social media? Do you have a platform, Mr. Cuban? Remember, this is the same Mark Cuban who wanted to buy a baseball team. And those of us in the owner's room said, there is no way Mark Cuban's buying a baseball team. We are not allowing that guy in the room. And all of a sudden, he didn't buy a baseball team. And that's when he went and bought the Mavericks because we'd said, votes, votes. You don't have the votes. You're not even close to the votes.